Hey friends, it's Rabbi Jenny Solomon here at Beth Meyer Synagogue in Raleigh, North Carolina with a mincha moment. If you hear loud beeping in the background, we are having our windows washed and repaired in the sanctuary in preparation for the Yamim Noraim, the days of awe, coming up, which is actually what I'm thinking about right now and wanted to share with you. The days of awe, Yamim Noraim. I was listening recently to somebody who was offering a compliment to someone else and said, "You are fearless." And a little part of my heart just broke when I heard her say that, because the truth is that none of us are fearless. And I'm not even sure it's something worth aspiring to. Part of being human is experiencing all kinds of fears, some of us more than others. And the days of awe, Yamim Noraim, literally Nora, we often translate as awe, these days that include within them Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. But they also contain the root word for fear, yirah. And so these days of awe are actually also days of fear and trembling. And I think that they can invite us in to, first of all, just stop pretending that we're not afraid. We are. I am. I'm afraid of so many things. I'm afraid of all kinds of loss. I'm afraid of all kinds of things that I know I can't control. I'm afraid of harm and hurt and suffering coming to those I love. I'm afraid of not measuring up. So many fears. Maybe some of those sound familiar to you, and maybe there are still others. And I think one of the gifts of the Yamim Noraim is, again, inviting us in to stop pretending and just notice that fear is here. It's here, and it's part of the human experience. It's part of the soul. It's part of the heart. And when we stop pretending and we just acknowledge that there is fear, and then begin to give it some language through prayer. If you look through the Machzor, the prayer book that we use on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, there is so much poetry, so many prayers try to express some of this fear that we feel at this time of year and perhaps at all times. And so we begin to give language to our fear. And then I think the next invitation is to see if we can hold that fear, hold those fears in compassion, hold each other in compassion. You know, there's something so powerful about coming to say these prayers together with a huge group of people. That is an acknowledgement that we are all encountering these fears. They may be slightly different, but in most cases, they're often the same. And then finally, to see if we can create any ease. I know that I have a little bit of ease just in remembering that I'm not alone in my fears, and I feel that so palpably and powerfully praying in community. So we find ways to just create a little bit of ease, and it's probably impossible to unload all of our fears at once. But I think the spiritual work is, can we offload just a little bit at a time so that we have greater access to our own heart's wisdom, our own brain's highest functioning, so that we can keep taking steps forward, one foot at a time, towards our greatest hopes and aspirations in the year to come. So here is to being fully human, including fearful, including afraid, including terrified, but also to holding all of that in awareness and in compassion together. Wishing everyone a good rest of the day and a beautiful march towards Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Shalom. Peace.